Hello and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. This is NXT.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Live Oak, Florida, weighing 270 pounds, Titus O'Neil.
Well, he's the real deal. It's Titus O'Neil. I'm glad I said all of that. Here he comes. Titus O'Neil. Set for this one-on-one competition to kick off tonight's NXT, facing off against Big John Studd. We've seen a lot of different matchups when it comes to this NXT Tag Team Championship scene. We've seen Wolf Kessler and Darren Young. Young won. We've seen Wolf Kessler and Titus O'Neil. Titus won. We've seen Darren Young and Big John Studd. Young won. Will Titus complete that collection and beat Studd tonight?
Representing the Terrors from Los Angeles, California, weighing 367 pounds, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Big John Studd.
It has been confirmed that next week in our main event of NXT, the tag titles will be on the line. We will be getting the Primetime Players once again challenging for the NXT Tag Team Championship. We're interested in finding out if they can become three-time NXT Tag Team Champions. They definitely have a claim to those titles right now, beating these guys in singles competition 3 out of 4 times. We'll find out if it's 4 out of 4 times tonight. Big John Studd got a lot of pressure on his back tonight, but I think he can take it. So here we go. The Snake Pit and the Primetime Players have a little bit of back and forth. There seems to be some kind of like mutual respect between these guys. Will that continue? Or is eventually something going to get in the way? I mean, the Snake Pit, so far they've been very honorable since they've made their appearance, but how many more losses can these guys eat before they get a little fed up, if you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to stir up any issues, it's just, hey, I gotta call it like I see it, and honestly, I feel like they could be getting a little bit fed up with the way things have been going for them. The new NXT Women's Division will be making its debut next week on NXT. Here tonight we've got a new tag team to NXT. Well, a former tag team in the WWE, but a new tag team here on NXT. We'll be seeing the reunion of Rey Mysterio and Cara up next. After Rey Mysterio lost to Wade Barrett in the main event of last week's NXT in a very dishonorably short amount of time. Tonight we'll find out if they can bounce back, and maybe those two as a team could be a big part here of NXT for the foreseeable future. And speaking of the Snake Pit, we'll find out if Jake Roberts can make a huge impression tonight on the NXT champion, because he has been given the honor of setting foot in the ring with Big E Langston in our main event tonight. And this could be huge. Obviously, right now, his boys, Wolf and Studd, they're both in possession of the tag titles. Roberts could lead the way with the NXT Championship if he can beat Big E Langston here tonight and get a shot.
A bit of a test of strength here.
The landscape of NXT, one of the most transformative shows to see on a week-to-week basis with those EYS matches every month. You can always expect the possibility of newcomers and, you know, saying goodbye to certain superstars. Wade Barrett had a great stay here on NXT, but the first guy ever to leave NXT and, come to NXT and leave. Dropped down from Raw to NXT and left NXT for SmackDown. Justin Gabriel says he's not worried. He says now his time has come to focus on becoming NXT champion, and he'd love to get in the ring with Big E Langston. Big E. I don't know why I stuttered so much there, but I did.
And he's displaying tremendous viciousness.
Titus O'Neil. Big kick there to the back of Studd.
These are great competitors. Great, tremendous.
You definitely don't want to underestimate Titus. I've said this before, as much as I'd love to see the Primetime Players in possession of those tag team titles for a third time, I think these guys are ready. I think it's time for them to head up to Raw or SmackDown, really whatever show needs a new tag team on the roster, and I feel like they could add a lot to it. I feel like they've passed their time here. I hope that they're involved. You know, if they lose that rematch next week on NXT, I'm not hoping for it, but you know, if they do, then I'm hoping 2 weeks after that, 3 weeks time from now, they're in an EYS match, and we finally see the primetime players get to graduate from NXT. I think they've earned that. I think they've earned their flowers. I think it's time for them to step up and really show the world what they can do on Raw or SmackDown. Wouldn't be the first time we've had a tag team leave NXT. Let's not forget about when the Shield defeated the Nexus, and there goes Titus. That's such a good move. Gotta walk into him first, it's traditional. Cover here, just a one. Big takedown by Titus O'Neil, and there's a kick. Put a little bit of extra aggression in the back of Big John Studd with that one, I felt. And a nice hip toss. Titus in control of Big John Studd, and he scoops up that giant man and breaks him down. Cover attempt here by Titus O'Neil, just a 2. But here comes the clash of the Titus. Is that the end for Big John Studd here tonight? Cover attempt by O'Neil. No! He's still in this. Somehow. Uh-oh. Bear hug. Finishing move by Big John Studd here. It's a vicious one. It's a tough one to escape. Titus is flailing. You're flailing, Titus. You're flailing. And down he goes. Big John Studd releases the hold. I was saying before on Monday Night Raw, feels like we're going through a little bit of a shift. Maybe the reason it feels like we're going through a shift is because I'm actually getting this done. It might not be that there's like really that much of a change. It might just be the shift that I'm feeling is the fact that the shows are actually progressing. That might be it. That might genuinely be it. I don't know. Survivor Series felt really eventful. It felt like a very full show. The suplex into a cover. And let's not ignore, by the way, I haven't mentioned this yet, let's not ignore one of the biggest moves from NXT we've seen in history happened at Survivor Series, as Andre the Giant not only joined the SmackDown roster, but became Intercontinental Champion. He beat the Big Show in his debut at Survivor Series. We knew Andre was... Oh, boy. We knew Andre was destined for greatness when he left NXT. But I don't think anyone was expecting that to be his first match off of NXT. And Titus getting Studd with his own finisher. This would be a huge way to beat Big John Studd, and it is. Titus O'Neil managing to get those arms around the thick Big John Studd. And just like that, the Primetime Players have beaten the Snake Pit 4-0 in singles competition. I have a strong feeling we're looking at 3-time NXT Tag Team Champions next week when the tag titles are on the line in the main event. The Snake Pit are really going to have to step up their game. Big win for Titus O'Neil. He's the real deal after all. As we move on and get that smart. There it is. As we move on. Up next, Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara make their tag team debut for NXT. Looking forward to this. Let's hope this works out better than everything else has for them this season. Alright, so welcome you back here on NXT. You see Virgil and Brodus Clay in the ring scheduled for this tag team match here tonight against Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. And they're actually dressed to match. That was definitely unintentional, but hey. Brodus and Virgil, they're a part of the NXT tag division. They got to rank higher than Sergeant Slaughter, right? Say what you will, but they got to be higher up than Sergeant Slaughter. We now await the arrival of one half of this tag team, and here we go. Sin Cara, everybody.
And their opponents first. From Mexico City, Mexico, weighing 196 pounds, Sin Cara.
See, you can look at this loss as a huge loss for Rey Mysterio. I mean, he definitely got annihilated by Wade Barrett last week on NXT. But I see it as the beginning of something new for Rey, and I think here tonight, hopefully, him and Sin Cara can get on track and finally pick up a victory. They were not a successful tag team during their time on NXT. I know they were very happy to be on the same page, to be working together as a team. And you know, Rey has a very strong commitment to Sin Cara. He kept that design on his mask even though they weren't teaming anymore. And now they're finally reunited here tonight. Let's hope this works out for them.
And his tag team partner from San Diego, California, weighing 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio.
And of course, following this, we have our main event, Big E Langston against Jake Roberts tonight. A lot of superstars that were formerly a part of Raw and SmackDown on tonight's episode of NXT. We see Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, as well as Brodus Clay, formerly on Raw. And Jake Roberts in our main event is formerly on Raw. We've got a lot of EYS losers that have built themselves up. I don't really like the term loser in that sense. I feel like they've done well for themselves. Well, maybe not Brodus, maybe not Sin Cara. Hopefully Rey. So here we go. Brodus and Sin Cara starting things off here, and that obviously starts a little bit of a disadvantage for Rey and Sin Cara's team. I think that was a smart move by Clay and Virgil to send the big man in first. Obviously, that's going to put Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio at a disadvantage. Oh, boy. Oh. You know, Sin Cara has had it tough for a long time. I think, you know what's a big factor here tonight that I want to take into account and I want to say is hopefully the sign of good things for them. Those stupid lights aren't on. Alright? They're not on tonight. We've actually got a properly lit arena. And I think that's the good sign. That's exactly what we need. It's got to be already hard enough to see in that mask, you know. You make the room all dimly lit. No wonder Sin Cara's always losing. Probably doesn't even know what the ropes are. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara really embracing the NXT colors here tonight. Trying to make black and gold their home. You never know, after next week's main event for the NXT Tag Team titles, these two, either one of these two teams could be next in line for the NXT Tag Team Championship. It's definitely one of the most unpredictable titles on NXT. Just ask the two-time Tag Team Champions we've had so far. Both the Primetime Players and the Nexus are two-time Tag Team Champions. I mean, admittedly, when it comes to the Nexus, only Gabriel is a two-time Tag Champ. He's held it with both Otunga and Barrett individually. Interested in finding out how Wade Barrett will make his impression on Friday Night SmackDown. I'm sure we'll see him for the first time there this Friday. Well, I say the first time. Actually, I corrected. I think I need to correct myself because I think I mentioned before that he was returning to SmackDown. Believe it or not, he barely ever spent any time on SmackDown in the past. I think he was a part of SmackDown, but really not for very long. I believe that was around the time ECW became a brand and he moved over to that fairly quickly, or something to that effect. I know there was some kind of... I looked over his wiki and I was like, hang on a minute. This guy was on SmackDown, but really not for long. Man, I tell you, you are on hard times if you lose to Virgil, Ray. I mean, yeah, with all due respect, I don't think Virgil has won a single match since he debuted. Or did he... Did Wolf beat Virgil? Maybe he's won a match. I don't know. Hang on. Let me have a look here. See, this is why the wiki is important. Obviously, with Survivor Series having just gone up, I try not to spoil it, because I know a lot of people, there are people out there, and I shouldn't say a lot of people, but there are people out there that will absolutely go there and just look at spoilers, and I was like, man, that's lame. Sin Cara's only ever won 7 matches, and he's lost 53. Undeniably one of the worst track records out there. Rey Mysterio's at 52 losses, but he does hold 30 overall wins. The only thing that really hurts Rey is the same thing that hurts Sin Cara. They've both only ever won 1 match this season, which is the same for Virgil. And Brodus, 1-9. Virgil is 1-8. Brodus is 1-9. Rey is 1-17. And Sin Cara is 1-9.
He was one step ahead on that one.
So, for one team, this will be their second ever victories. For another, this is going to be someone's 10th loss. And either their 18th loss or their 8th loss. Right now, these two teams are really showing what they have to offer, and I feel like that's, you know, this is an important night for both of these tag teams then, in that sense. That's what NXT is about, though. It's about building yourself back up in a sense, and that's exactly what Rey and Sin Cara could do. That's what Brodus and Virgil could do. That's what anyone can do. This is all about opportunity.
The guts of the ultimate underdog. What's going to happen now?
Stop doing a drop kick. Do your damn comeback. Idiot.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical. Oh, this is dangerous.
Mysterio coming off the top. Ooh, that was an interesting one. Moonsault onto the back. You don't see that very often. Tag into Sin Cara. You know what else I think has been a jinx? I say that the lighting for Sin Cara has been terrible ever since he debuted, but I'll tell you what's been a jinx for Rey Mysterio. You notice a difference about Rey Mysterio this season compared to the other 3 seasons? The shut. The shut is the jinx. I mean, maybe it's the Sin Cara mask design on the back of his mask, but, you know? Maybe still gotta get his angry nipples out.
This match has been 100 miles an hour since the opening bell.
There was a moment of, like, euphoria when I was watching one of the new Legacy Royal Rumble Fawn episodes, and they mentioned that Rey Mysterio's tattoos look like an angry face on his tummy. Because I've thought that for like 10 plus years. And I've never heard anyone mention it. And they finally did, and it made me very happy. Uh-oh. Okay. Almost. Come on, Sin Cara. Don't lose to Brodus. Uh-oh. I think he's going to lose to Brodus. There goes Rey. Crossbody by Brodus. Brodus, Clay, and Virgil get the win. Man. Oh, man. I really hoped that this was going to be the start of something good for Rey and Sin Cara. Well, Virgil and Brodus finally picking up a win. Man, what is it going to take for Rey and Sin Cara to pick up a win? This has been such a tough season for them. It really is unfortunate, but, you know, I guess congrats to Virgil and his partner as well. As we move on to our main event, Jake Roberts faces Big E Langston.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Wolf, representing the Terrors from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing 249 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts.
I believe Jake Roberts said that he wants his youngest protege, Wolf Kessler, to get a front row seat for tonight's main event. He wants him to learn a lot from this mentor. I mean, honestly, what a great guy to study under. Jake Roberts, a very well-respected veteran. Maybe he hasn't had the best track record here in this universe, but I tell you, in the wrestling world, a very well-respected wrestling veteran. And I mean, yeah, he could learn a thing or two. He might be out there to help Jake Roberts get the win, though. I'm just saying.
Approaching the ring from Tampa, Florida, weighing 302 pounds, the NXT champion, Big E Langston.
Well, Big E Langston said that he was really happy to see Andre the Giant make his appearance at Survivor Series just 3 days ago and win the Intercontinental Championship. He said he believes in Andre. He says he thinks Andre is an incredible champion and he will absolutely be holding that Intercontinental title for a long time. And Big E says he cannot wait until he leaves NXT and takes the Intercontinental Championship away from Andre the Giant, and history repeats itself. Bold words from Big E Langston, a man who was initially at one point almost certain to leave NXT, and I mean no disrespect to whoever he was going to face in his EYS challenge, but I mean this guy here, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind he was ready. I mean, obviously, as important as that is to mention, though, I do also want to focus on the fact that Big E Langston has been a great NXT champion. I'm very happy to see him in possession of that title. I don't want to take that away from him. Man, Friday night is going to be a very interesting episode of SmackDown between the new Intercontinental Champion Andre the Giant, Wade Barrett making his SmackDown return / debut, whatever you want to call it. Got a huge main event scheduled for this Friday on SmackDown. Sheamus and the Big Show set to go one-on-one as they were supposed to initially. Really looking forward to this Friday SmackDown. There's so much to look forward to on SmackDown.
The Titus turned again. They're going to fight to the end. Oh, when I see an attack
Next week takes down Jake Roberts.
that no one truly
As I mentioned before, the women will make their NXT debut next week. Summer Rae, the defending champion, will not be on next week's NXT, but we're going to be starting things off in a major fashion for the NXT women's division with a real callback. Lita says that perhaps NXT may not be the environment for her, but she doesn't want to leave until she knows that the future is safe in the right hands, and that's why she believes in AJ Lee. She wants to give her a challenge next week on NXT, the first women's match of NXT. She wants to see if AJ has what it takes to beat Lita and maybe get one step closer to becoming NXT Women's Champion. Of course, this comes after Lee lost the Divas Championship and was unable to become the first NXT Women's Champion at Survivor Series. Also, we'll be seeing Dusty Rhodes and Justin Gabriel in singles competition in the opening match of NXT, and in the main event, as I mentioned before, the Snake Pit will be defending those tag team titles against the Primetime Players. And I'm telling you now, if the Primetime Players lose that match, I honestly think that they need to look at it and say, I don't think there's anything left for us here on NXT, it's time to move on. Snake Pit have definitely lost quite a bit of momentum since winning those tag titles, though. It was a huge moment for them, but unfortunately, they seem to have lost a lot of that since. I think that's what Jake Roberts is really trying to do here tonight. He says he doesn't want to be a strict leader to these guys, but they do need to start stepping up, and he's going to show them what it means to step up, and that's exactly what he's looking to do here tonight against Big E Langston. I do think Roberts is getting a little ahead of himself. He hasn't had the best track record himself, and obviously Big E Langston has done some incredible things since his debut. I believe he's only ever suffered 2 or 3 losses overall in his career. Cover attempt here, and of course, see, this is what I think was the real reason that Wolf Kessler was here at ringside. Now, whether or not Jake Roberts knows Wolf did that, I mean, I'll give credit where due. Roberts says he's bringing Kessler out here to learn a thing or two. I think Wolf is maybe seeing it upon himself to try and help his leader here tonight.
Langston got out of the way that time. Oh, the Snake with a big reversal.
Oh, a big knee to the head of Big E Langston. Ooh, the midsection by Langston, and now a bit of a stare down there. That was pretty strange, and a knee lift across the face. Don't know what Roberts said. Hello, King. And a DDT. No one does it better than Jake Roberts. Ref, what are you doing? Cover attempt here on Big E Langston. Oh! Did Wolf make a wrong call there? Wolf looked like he may have put his hands on the referee at some point. Referee was distracted. Roberts hitting the DDT, that may have been instrumental in the downfall. I think Roberts may have had Big E off that DDT. And here comes Big John Studd, the third member of the Snake Pit. Why is Roberts looking upset about this? Roberts not wanting him out here, potentially? Big E? Well, I think Studd may have inadvertently caused a distraction. And Wolf is telling Studd to get out of here. Uh-oh. We got some tension in the Snake Pit here, and cover attempt. Studd, what are you doing? And Big E Langston gets the win, and Studd can't believe. I think Studd screwed up huge just now. Oh, that is not good. That is not good for Big John Studd.
Here is your winner, Big E Langston.
An emotional victory here.
Wow.
Man, oh man, what a match.
Big John Studd may have screwed up something huge here tonight. And Big E Langston getting the win. I mean, you look at the series of events that led to that pinfall. That was all Studd's fault. And I gotta tell you, Jake Roberts, there's something about him that intimidates me. If I was Studd, I'd be a little worried right now. Man. Well, thank you all for watching tonight's episode of NXT. And next week, obviously, Studd's gotta step up with Wolf Kessler and retain those tag titles. Well, there's going to be trouble on the horizon, I'm sure. Thank you all for watching tonight's NXT. I'll see you on SmackDown.